Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cloud Kingdom, which will be the venue for our first encounter in this Super Sunday on Iron Squid to determine who goes through Group A and who will leave with nothing. It's my pleasure to introduce our first contestant for this particular series, hailing from South Korea and the Team Slayers. Pretty much the godfather of Slayers here in the red trunks, playing Terran to the southwest. It is SlayerSBoxeR versus his opponent, Team Evil Geniuses, the former practice partner of Flash, but now going up against a real Bonjour in a real tournament setting. Will he be able to overcome? It is Evil Geniuses PuMa in the blue trunks playing Terran to the northeast.
And we do have both of these guys straight away here, walling in initially, and that will be to, of course, prevent the scouting. And we'll see, because both of these guys don't want to reveal information straight away in the game. They want to hide as much as possible here. Yep. And we'll see what actually happens behind that hiding, whether it will be a fast command center, whether it will be double gas. That's what we're going to be looking for.
Yes, we certainly will. And the SCV up for both here. And then, of course, the barracks will stop it there. An interesting little decision there by Boxer, just to delay a couple of seconds to mine 5 minerals from the natural there. It's not going to make a huge amount of difference one way or the other, but he goes for it anyway. Just a little bit of flair there from the Emperor once again. And what do you expect to see here? Because we've seen quite a lot of Boxer's TVT, we've also seen quite a lot of PuMa's TVT, but never against each other.
No, I have no idea what we're going to see. The Boxer is the most unpredictable Terran player I've actually had the pleasure to watch. He can do anything depending on who he's playing against and what map he's on. As we already see, he is walling himself in now with that supply depot and also taking a refinery, just a single one in the background here. And on the other hand, it looks like PuMa will be doing very similar, but without gas, and will be looking to expand. We'll see what options that this single gas here will open up for Mr. SlayerSBoxeR.
Yes, we shall. And attempts to bring down the supply depot will, of course, be thwarted by the fact there's an SCV behind it. PuMa doesn't really get any information other than the fact that his opponent is, of course, walling in. PuMa continues just to beat on that for a second and then is going to go for the SCV, but it has now moved out of range once again. And hello, the Marine actually comes out fighting right there. A nice start off the blocks there, but PuMa is, of course, too quick to be duped by that. And Boxer hasn't scouted yet. He doesn't know what his opponent's got, and is, of course, a gasless expand.
And, I mean, PuMa could say, alright, why was that second supply depot a little bit slower than mine? And you could say, alright, because you were building a refinery first. And that's very, very minute details which PuMa may have read upon. But then again, it's some players do like to read in small details like that. Some players like to be like, all right, well, you know, he could have just not built it yet. You know, he could have still expanded behind. So that you can read deeper, or you can actually just be like, all right, whatever, let's just keep open-minded here. And it looks like we are going to have PuMa play bio here. He's going to throw... Oh, no, actually, I thought he was going to throw down additional barracks, but actually throws down another command center.
Yeah, this seems to be the thing for Korean Terrans at the moment, going for that triple expand. We've seen Boxer try it as well, and will PuMa be able to pull that off up against Boxer? Because Boxer has no intention of allowing that to happen so easily. He's going to go for a straight 1-1-1 here. Hellions coming out at the moment. There's a tech lab going down on the barracks. So what do you expect to see composition-wise out of SlayerSBoxeR?
Well, I expect him to put the starport on there. I mean, the factory could go down there if he wanted to go blue flame. He's not going to go for tanks this early on, so it could be for the factory, but there it is for the factory. Okay, so if he is going to try to tech up immediately, that means that he can't do anything. So I'm not sure if he can tech up with an upgrade because he wants to build a medivac. There's a reason the starport's there. So I think he'll leave the tech lab naked and maybe just, okay, a Viking. That's interesting. Maybe I thought a medivac to drop Hellions, but Viking in a very defensive posture because if you look in his vision, he actually hasn't scouted until that Hellion.
Yeah, and he now can suspect that there is an orbital there, but he doesn't know. In fact, he lands a scan. And he actually sees the command center as well. That actually sees everything aside from this barracks here. So that's good. Very, very nice there by Boxer.
Yeah, he sees everything now and understands what exactly he needs to do in this game. And to be honest, that Viking was useless, right? He's a defensive posture, which he doesn't need to do, especially against what PuMa's doing. He cancels it. Very smart here. And instead of that gas that he spent on Viking, researches Blue Flame. So very nice decision making here by Boxer. And there is that Medivac. And so we will be seeing a Blue Flame Hellion drop. No, guys, this is not the same patch that Slayers and Boxer frontiered with the Hellion Blue Flame drops.
No.
This is not, but he's still going to be going for it. And the question is, will PuMa be able to defend it? Because if he doesn't, then he could lose so many SCVs here that third command center doesn't even matter.
Well, PuMa has moved his Marines into a defensive posture, so he's expecting either a drop or some kind of Banshee play. Maybe that it just didn't move out, but he did see the Tech Lab researching. Now, at this stage, you've got to think to yourself, well, what does that mean? If it's for early aggression, then that has got to be for Blue Flame. There's no real option otherwise. And with those Marines ready to receive, he may be able to intercept and destroy the drop. If he can do that, then Boxer's going to be in a horrible spot. Map control is firmly in control of Boxer, so there's no way you can see this coming. And on its current angle, the Marines aren't in the best position, but they could then dash in quite quickly. The alternative is he goes for the natural. He gets less kills, but it's less risky.
He did see it on the natural, just above. There was a single SCV, but that was it. But it was headed to the north, so he does change route and goes to the natural, and this is where he can do damage.
Yeah, the Marauders are already deployed here, and they're focusing on the wrong target. He's got to actually go for those mules immediately, and this is going to get shut down really fast. Thankfully, he saves all three, and PuMa gets the nice interception there, and off goes Boxer once again. And does he try to continue this harassment? Well, PuMa's, I think, more than prepared for it now.
Yeah, PuMa's actually in such a great position. Even though the supplies don't say that, he's in... Oh my god, guys, he's so good. Because he has a third command center. He has double engineering building now. And Boxer has no units. He has no third base. He only has these Hellions, and they haven't done enough damage yet. And he's trying to look in to go again. But there's units everywhere. There's combat shields that are going to shut these down and will take enough damage to shut them down. And it looks like Boxer's going to try and go in with 4 Hellions again. Will he do the damage necessary?
It's going to be risky. The Marines are out of position. If he goes directly for the back... there's a missile turret there. He's going to go right across it, and he'll be able to save what's inside, but the drop seems very unlikely to work here. And missile turret goes immediately in there. He sees it before it is able to fire, which is fantastic. There is a point he could go in, but it would require PuMa to really have a fairly slow reaction time. Boxer's reaction times are, of course, absolutely fantastic. He sees everything there, and it's like, this is impenetrable. There's no way through here.
Indeed, and he has to return, and that's why PuMa has a great advantage here. It looks like Boxer's going to try and go for the natural again, but 2 Marauders do remain. They will not have enough DPS to kill the Hellions first before they get to the SCVs. How many SCVs can he get?
Well, let's see. He's focusing on the Marauders again. He doesn't want to do that. He's got to get a few. PuMa's actually not moving off the line, which is causing quite a bit of damage to go in there, but he only... Actually, no, he got 8. All credit to him. He got 8. Can he get those Hellions out of there? He can at least get 2 of them out before the medevac goes down. So 8 is not bad, but you've got to bear in mind that he's got 3 CCs. In fact, he's actually got more than that. He's building a 4th over to the side here, so he can replenish much faster.
Yeah, and he's going to be able to expand, get the better income, knowing that Boxer can't really push with a decent amount. But Boxer's going to have to go soon. Maybe he'll wait for +1 to finish, because Boxer has to go soon because he hasn't expanded yet. He's on 2 base. All his money's been invested in his army. It looks like he will expand soon, but he has to attack and expand at the same time. And we do see that drop again with Vikings this time around on the natural, but immediately pulled off.
I love the use of Vikings in that respect, because if you've got air superiority and you shoot down your opponent's Vikings, then why the hell not drop? Even if it just forces SCVs not to mine, even if it doesn't get a kill, it's definitely well worth it. We've got these tanks up here. They do have siege tech available, and army supply-wise, PuMa's actually very far behind now. A big 2-base push here, especially if it gets in the right position, could do horrendous damage to PuMa. But of course, if it doesn't, then PuMa's just going to fly away with his economy. It's just going to get far too far ahead. PuMa's building... What? PuMa's building 3 Ghost Academies, one after another.
Yeah. I think he's feeling a bit confident in this game. He's going to go straight for nukes. I mean, because this is pretty
There's no reason to build
ballsy
3
here.
Yeah.
No, there's not. It's just going to go for nukes here. So, I mean, he gets personal cloaking for Ghost, which is like, what? Was he? I have no idea what he's trying to achieve here with this. There is the nuke. There is the cloak. He's just going to go in and start nuking around, man. He knows that he had such a significant advantage by going for this fast third base. The Hellions didn't do anything in this game. He defended it perfectly. And he's taking a 4th command center. He's like, all right, the game's won. I'm just going to go nukes.
Gotta go nukes. Never get cocky against the Emperor. I don't think that's a very good idea, but we'll see how it turns out. Obviously, if the nukes land, that's game over, right? That one nuke can change the game. If you've got two, especially at this early stage, things can get really messy. Boxer is going to start to roll out now, and he's not going to be seen as he flanks around here until he runs into this infamous scouting factory here. And he might just look to secure the third, which is what he's done. But as you said, how fast will Boxer be able to react to the nukes? Will he be able to stop them from going down? Will he run into them? One good nuke changes the game to the point where PuMa can just flood over Boxer.
And he's going to have to use scans if he doesn't have turrets placed around to actually see the ghosts anyway to get rid of them, which of course is the worst place because he's only just now taken his third and PuMa's taken his fourth. And the thing is that Boxer could have pushed on 2 base, but I think that he felt that if he did, he was too far behind anyway because of the advantage that PuMa had sustained early on, that even if he did, it would have got crushed anyway. So he takes the option, all right, it's going to sit back, going to go 200 supply, then I'm going to push. But we are going to see quite an aggressive PuMa now. He's going to be zoning out Boxer's army with nukes, maybe forcing scans down, maybe even picking off big chunks. And as Boxer unsieges and moves back away from the nuke, that third base can easily get sniped. Let's see how this plays out.
Yeah, I'm intrigued, honestly. I really, really am. The ghosts are going to prove to be interesting here. PuMa runs right into a massive tank line, and his attack is completely shut down initially, which is intriguing. The nukes are coming down here. A scan goes down. In fact, he's not able to deploy the nuke at all.
Yeah, Boxer knows the plan now. He's seen this. He's making sure this doesn't go down. One nuke now is on a big chunk of tanks here.
It's not going to make a difference. The scan goes down. Yeah. Don't get cocky against the Emperor. Look at the supply count. PuMa threw away an army on the third and tried something a bit gimmicky, and now Boxer's ahead. It's just simple as that.
But look at the amount of command centers going down. 4 in the production tab. This is pretty crazy.
Oh, yeah, it is. If Boxer doesn't start to kill those off, then, yeah, the production is going to go ridiculously in favor of PuMa at this stage. Boxer's playing very defensively at the moment, which is actually not what he needs to be doing. Nuclear launch detected once again. Scan goes down. Where is that nuke?
It's just on the third base by these turrets here, but again, Ghost picked off. Boxer now really defending tight against this. There's no holes in his play. He's got turrets in the best locations. No drops can penetrate Boxer's base. And all of a sudden, PuMa's gone from this game's easy to this game's really difficult now.
He's 200-200 and he's ready to roll. He's got +1, he's about to have +2. He can roll out right now and start to crush. Now, we've seen this before, of course, in MKP versus PuMa. There's a big mech force versus the ultra-mobile bio of PuMa, as well as the ultra-expand style of PuMa as well. So, in that case, PuMa was able to win that game. But what's going to happen here? Big deployment goes down. Good shelling, taking a good chunk out of PuMa's army. This is actually very, very similar with the Viking superiority, but the Hellion counts at 27 this time around. This is a much better composed force and a much better arranged force than Marine King Prime had.
And Boxer's playing it better than Marine King Prime because Marine King Prime left his base open to a base race. Look at Boxer. He's walled in. He's got tanks. There's no way that PuMa can pull that off again. And Boxer now steamrolling forward with an unbreakable force. There is a nuke, but he does spot and kill the ghost.
Yeah, it's down. He's got no problems doing that. And now the shelling comes down on that. And a little bit of damage. It doesn't matter. He's back up to 200. PuMa got cocky and is now being smashed. It's as simple as that. He can't even save his medevacs. There's only 2 Marines in the force. Those Vikings simply do not care. And I think this could be a very easy win for Boxer here. Something that PuMa has, quite frankly, thrown away. That said, if PuMa manages to stay alive and keeps things rolling, then he'll be in a great position. Well, turns out Hellions do counter Marauders quite well if you've got that many of them.
Yeah, indeed. And do remember, though, that there's so many barracks here for PuMa. He's got twice the income, if not 3 times the income of Boxer. Boxer is slowly running out of money. So even if, the trade goes inefficiently for PuMa, he can reinforce. But with this amount of Hellions, there's no way he can even get to the tanks.
Exactly, and the tanks are in a great sieged up position. This base is most likely going to die at this stage. PuMa would have to go through. He's got more nukes available. The cloak's about to run out on that ghost as well. The scans are actively happening. And it's like, nukes? Who do you think I am? Says Boxer. It's like, I've seen this before 1,000 times. There's no way you can trick me. Vikings kill the CC. Oh my. Admittedly, it is one of 5,000 CCs that he's got. He's got harassment, Hellions, cleaning up this base over here. He's all over
there's
the
a
place.
Marauder in the middle of the map, actually. That's denying Boxer from taking a 4th base here. So that is a nice little counter movement there. But
Definitely,
PuMa in the center is trying to get position on Boxer, looking to catch him unsieged, to catch him out of position. But Boxer now with reinforcements has to siege up, actually, otherwise he could lose everything there. But looking very good. Boxer now pushing towards the 3rd base, and can PuMa get him unsieged?
Oh, he can do some damage, but he only kills 2 tanks in the process. He gets a good split around. Can he crush this? That's what he's looking to do. He's doing a lot of damage in the process. He cleans it up nicely.
Oh, wow, that is really nice. But the reinforcements from Boxer, are they enough to come in and help out? Once again, they're streaming across now, but PuMa lost a lot. But remember, we said their income is so high that PuMa's been able to remax, or not really remax, but rebuild his army actually higher in terms of supply than Boxer can.
Yeah, and this 4th base still hasn't been taken here. It's being denied by this Marauder. So suddenly, PuMa once again gets an advantage here and catches Boxer unsieged and gets a really good surround as well. Very nice play there by PuMa. Puts him easily back in this in terms of his income. I mean, his income is fantastic. His macro is really good as well. And this could wear Boxer down. Supply is now in favor of PuMa for the first time in a while.
Yeah, and that still Marauder in the middle is still denying that expansion, so this is really good. And once again, Boxer could have got caught out of position, but it looks okay.
Yeah, he's a little bit quick with that, so he's probably not going to be caught out a second time in that respect. The Marauder is cleaned out, and down goes the command center as well. What we need to look at is how many mining bases are here, because we see, there's 5,000 CCs, but this one's pretty much mules over here in the corner. It has taken a lot of damage. It got cleaned out earlier. This one is also mules. Actually, the mule count is at 16. What? 16 mules? Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot
I just
of
saw
orbital
income.
commands.
The income went over 4,000. I don't think that's ever happened before in a pro game, as far as I'm aware.
And
now,
nukes everywhere, man.
yeah, Nuke's coming down. There's all sorts of things going on. Attempting to smash his way through here. Nuke doesn't end up landing. The Hellions go in just to completely gut this mineral line over here. We've got PuMa's army now swinging around to try and stop it.
Yeah, and he's going to be able to do it, but they did kill a lot there, slowing PuMa down, but more importantly, Boxer's main is mined out, his natural is mined out, the 3rd base not far away, and he is transferring SUVs. There is a Ghost on the higher ground that has a nuke available. Will PuMa be able to pull it off, though?
That's a good question. Can he actually land that? And indeed, will Boxer actually spot it? It's not moving. Oh, it's actually fired now. So, but he's got to pull away from that. There's no way to really stop that. Maybe the Hellions get there in time, but no. He's already seen it. He's going to eat a bit of damage on the Planetary Fortress, maybe lose an SCV, and that will be that. The missile turret going at the top as well, because he knows this is vulnerable to Ghost play. So that was pretty much worthless. PuMa goes for the cleanup here, and there are so many sensor towers all over this map at this stage.
Yeah, it looks like the Olympic rings, man. And PuMa stims in on the left-hand side. He's going to try and kill the 4 tanks in the center here. Does he have enough? It looks like he does.
Yeah, well, 3-3 bio's pretty damn good, man. In the meantime, we've got Boxer just rolling down the center. Another nuke is deployed kind of defensively here. The tanks are caught out of position again, but I don't think there's enough Marauders really to destroy all of this, but it is enough to do significant damage on both sides.
And let's have a look at the income tab once again. Still double for PuMa, who's mining from 2 bases on the left and right. And Hellions going to the top left to gut the expansion once again.
Yeah, good harassment right here by Boxer. This is what he needs to do. He needs to continue hammering away at PuMa just to wear down his economic advantage. And also then take a fight in a good place. PuMa's army is slightly larger than Boxer's, not by a huge amount here. It is more well upgraded, as you might expect. There's no armor upgrades for these tanks at all, which will certainly make a difference. And the Hellions now being cleaned up. The worker count is, well, it doesn't really matter because there's so many CCs. Worker count is pretty much irrelevant at this stage. It's going to be all about those mules.
And Boxer knows that if he just slowly pushes to the right and clears up this base and sends Hellions up the left, that will cut everything off, which he's trying to do again, and doesn't quite successfully get those Hellions across. But
he can't. There's sensor towers everywhere.
Yeah. This is very difficult. I mean, both of these guys see everything as weird as is like both playing with map pack on.
Yeah, pretty much. The sensor towers on both sides. It's getting really weird. He's going to actually stim an attack at this stage. And does he have the visibility forward? Oh, wow. This is a nice move right here. PuMa was able to take the tank fire on that Marauder. And PuMa gets the cleanup in the center. That was huge. And that very well could be the nail in the coffin for Boxer here.
And yeah, he does. He lands a nuke again on the side here. And it's not going to get on the platform. There's no SUVs there, but Boxer's moving to the top left here. And PuMa, though, 180 supply. Wowee.
That one engagement was so incredibly important. The target fire on the tanks for Boxer was off. PuMa deliberately took salvos of tank fire on the Marauder so he can move in. In the meantime, it's going to be another base race by the looks of it, and I don't know if Boxer can really win this. His force is too slow. His Hellion count is only at 2. He's producing nothing but tanks right now.
Yeah, and the tanks, there's only tanks, there's no buffering from Hellions this time around. So any engagement on the ground, PuMa's going to win. It was 3-3 Marauders with Ghosts in there to nuke and zone out the army, Marines added in for extra DPS. Boxer's trying to establish a base on the left-hand side while pushing at the top left, but he is killing command centers, but there's going to be a fight at the end of the day here, and PuMa's going to win every single fight as long as he doesn't walk into a million sieged up tanks, that is.
Yeah, those Vikings need to be in a good position to see this army coming out. He must use them at the front in order to gain that extra distance. But this is the problem. The nukes. The nukes are coming down. Another scan. So well done there by Box. It's like, I don't need to move. I know exactly where it's coming from. He lands the scan. 3 more nukes coming in right here from PuMa to try and dislodge this tank-heavy playstyle. It's allowing Boxer to slowly get back into the game, having now taken this base, which he is fully saturated and is mining for all his worth here. PuMa, though, does have a much larger army and a much more mobile army as well. So you see, Boxer is trying to deny the base up to the top here, but then PuMa could just expand to the bottom because there's this base here which hasn't been mined out. He could even go further and actually take this one.
Absolutely. Oh no, the nuke gets killed on the left-hand side there. It was about to nuke everything. It was setting up position to kill all those SCVs and mules on the left-hand side for Boxer, but that's irrelevant now as we see him pushing forward here. Once again, he has maintained a strong position. In overall here, Boxer is an army supply, 100 versus 157, but as long as everything's sieged up, his army value is actually more than PuMa's.
Oh no! Oh, PuMa's gonna go for it again. He catches the build siege again. That's absolutely huge. Boxer can't afford to lose that many tanks, and PuMa just gutted him right there.
And a nuke forces him to unsiege and move again, and he could very well go in again, but the tank count
PuMa just nuked his own army!
No, I saw that!
Oh,
wow.
What? Oh my god, I don't know, but it might be enough. He drops right into the center of these tanks here. PuMa nukes his own army. Unbelievable slip there. Both of these guys tearing chunks out of each other at this stage.
But PuMa's
wow.
still ahead.
Yeah, he is. He really is. Even after nuking his own army, it doesn't matter. GG. It's almost like he did it on purpose, but you know that he didn't. Wow, he walks right into that. Yeah. That was a stressful game there, and the nukes were counterproductive, I feel.
Yeah, that was a crazy game. So much action. And I feel that PuMa used the nukes, especially in the early stages, that they were pretty useless. Later on, they got a little bit more efficient, especially preventing Boxer from mining from certain bases. But wow, what a game number 1.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out of these guys. That was really, really interesting. But Boxer got caught out of position on no less than 3 occasions unsieged. Yeah. And that's, I guess, the real problem, isn't it? And also when you try and siege up in those positions, things get really awkward because you've got this 2-second area where you lose half your tanks. And then even then, because they're so close, you end up getting splashed and so on and so forth. In that position, it might even be better just to stay unsieged because at least then you can fight a little bit. But +3/+3 Marauders versus 2-0 tanks, it's only going to go one way.
Yeah, with Medivac's healing as well. Yeah, really, really one way.
And that was unfortunate there for Boxer, it really was. He had an opportunity, certainly, considering PuMa did take a lot of damage and was playing a little bit scrappily there, but it was enough for PuMa to bash through because what an economic advantage he had that entire game. He went for mass expand against mech, which seems to be the way to deal with it.
Oh, it really is, and that's the way you should be playing. You should be, as well as mass expanding, is double upgrading. You can be as greedy as physically possible in the game. There's no pushes that can really kill you as long as you're aware of them coming, and then even then you can catch them unsieged as they are coming towards you. So very, very good here. Display again from PuMa how to play against mech.
Sensor towers are pretty good, man. There's no real question about that. And there's nowhere Boxer could go, and he was unable to take those towers out. So that's that. PuMa, as always, gets great positioning in pretty much every fight and is able to push through, taking map 1 against Boxer. Will he be able to take map 2 and a clean sweep, which will... He needs it, you know? He really, really does. That would still put him 2 for 2 in the group. He could still lose. That's something to bear in mind, even if this happens, but... we shall see very, very shortly. You're currently watching the Iron Squid, show 4 here on Super Sunday. Don't go anywhere.